Hello and welcome back to our Bruce Camel focused playthrough, I guess. Yeah, I should probably just say Bannerlord modded at this point. Anyway, we are in a slightly troublesome situation here. As you can see, we have been attacked by Mr. Bortu. And this is not going to go very well, I don't think. So the main problem with this is that they outnumber us, of course, and they've probably got some pretty high tier troops, but if they have mostly nomads, we should be absolutely fine. That is the thing that we don't really need to worry about. Obviously, if they have only nomads, we should be perfect. I'm going to go hyper aggressive here, by the way, because I personally feel like if you're up against a number of enemy cavalry, it's probably a good idea to take the initiative first, because if you take the initiative first, it basically eliminates the enemy's ability to initiate on you. And that means that generally you're going to have a slightly better situation on your hands. Hopefully I won't die in this. Oh, wow. Taking a lot of damage almost immediately is not very good. But, you know, that's just how it is. Anyway, I will hopefully be able to eliminate at least a couple of people here. I'm not really thinking that I don't know. I'm not really thinking I'm going to get 100 kills or anything like that, but I do want to get a couple, you know, just a few. There we go. There's one of the vassals that we just eliminated there, which is very nice. And maybe we can just continue to do some damage. Basically, this is a death sentence almost, really. You know, being attacked by a Khuzait army where they outnumber you is really bad. So the only thing that I can really hope for here is eliminating as many of the enemy's cavalry as possible. If we can eliminate their cavalry, I think we're probably going to be fine, because of course at that point we only have to deal with the nomads and various other, you know, units that don't have mounts or anything, so that should be a lot easier. However, that doesn't mean anything really. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have issues in general actually just dealing with the majority of the force, because of course we are indeed outnumbered as well, but thankfully it seems as though my own forces are doing a relatively decent job. Unfortunately, the enemy is just not getting attacked at all in regards to their archers. As you can see, their archers are completely unassaulted. Just basically not even, they're not even bothering, my people are not even bothering to deal with them. I can of course tell them to go and do this if we want to with that new system, because we do have that new system available to us. However, my main concern still remains, well, pretty obvious, the enemy cavalry, and hopefully my forces will just continue to attack them as a majority force. Now, I don't really want to die. Nah, run. There we go. Okay. Whew. That was a little bit close there for my liking, but yeah. It happens. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to, I guess I'm going to attack. Oh, wait a minute. Is this guy going to shoot me in the face? No. Well, I'm actually quite surprised that I lived through that, because that was a bit of a... Never mind. Yeah, it's one of those times, isn't it? It's one of those times where I go, yes, it's an amazing thing that I lived through that, and then I end up dying. Yes, isn't that wonderful? But thankfully, as you can quite clearly tell, we are going to achieve victory. How many forces are we actually losing here? We're not even losing a huge amount of our camel troops. As you can tell, though, our camels are doing the majority of the work, although, to be fair, we do have a majority of them in my army itself. So of course, they're going to get the most kills. I mean, it stands to reason that that's obvious. Anyway, 86 renown for that, and a bunch of influence as well. I'm actually kind of thinking to myself right now that I am just going to continue taking them prisoner, even though it would be a very, very good thing if we could actually get one of them to join us. But at this point, I feel like it is much, much more useful, shall we say, to literally just take them prisoner and move on from there, and that's pretty much it. Because if we don't take them prisoner, they're going to come back in a matter of moments, and they're going to make themselves into, you know, a huge nuisance and a massive thorn in our side. And that's obviously not what we want. We don't want that at all, thank you very much. So that's, you know, you got to kind of balance it out. And unfortunately, it does seem to be that we need to do it this way. This is obviously something that I would prefer to avoid, but it's just not avoidable. You know, it's just not avoidable. I just have to do it this way. Anyway, oh, are you serious? The Northern Empire has declared war against us as well? Okay, that's very interesting. Alright, fine. Ah, Zamina is actually here. Fantastic. Okay, so we can take her into our party here. I'm just going to be selling all of the regular troops. And then we're just going to place the rest into the dungeon here. I mean, look at this. We've got 20 prisoners, which is hilarious. We have so many of their vassals cooped up here. It's absolutely, I don't even know. It's ridiculous, really, at this point. Anyway, hopefully I can sell for a bunch. I'm hopeful that the marketplace has not very much, unfortunately. As you can see, that's going to go in a flash. And I do have enough food, thankfully, so that's really, really nice. What I am going to do, however... Ah, yes, they just took Korinia Castle by the looks of things. That's very interesting. So we're basically just going to be making peace with them straight away. Boom, there you go. There's a peace agreement with the Northern Empire. And we only have to pay them 2,500, which is actually perfectly fine with me. That is not a big deal in any way. That is actually a lot easier than I anticipated. Anyway, I'm thinking that maybe we'll make Zamina into a vassal. The main problem with her, however, is that she doesn't have, well, basically anything in regards to something good to her stats. She doesn't have particularly good vassal stats, but I'm kind of thinking that we need the... Do we need the help? I feel like we need the help, because if we have a look at Hourglass Fades right here, you can see that we have Stormsand, and he does have 2 other vassals that have joined his clan, because that's just how it works, of course. However, it's going to be extremely weak. Most of those are going to be extremely weak. So I'm thinking, what is the better course of action here? Do we go and make another party? And do we get Zamina to be one of the party leaders? Or do we make her into a vassal and then go on from there? That's the question. I don't know. It is a very... Ooh, it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing, because what I would love to do is go back straight away to Utonguard and take that, but unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to go to Aserai territory and actually pick up some more troops, and that's going to absorb a lot of my time. I'm actually thinking, you know what? I'm just going to make Zamina into a party here. I'm not going to give her any troops. She can just find her own troops. I'm sure she'll be absolutely fine in neutral territory as it is. We're going to get some people escaping from our town, of course, as well. But yeah, we're basically just going to be attempting to do it this way. I am going to be losing a huge amount of money over time. But as you know, we have a huge amount of money in my inventory right now. So I actually do not need to worry that much. As you can see, if I end up losing, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 gold every single day, that is actually not that big a deal if you take a look at how much I'm actually selling right here. It's going to allow us at least to be able to sustain our current way of life, at least just for the meantime. You know, it's going to be a bit of an issue if that continues, of course, but I'm very much hoping that we're going to be able to finish with the Khuzait quite soon. I'm not saying that that's going to happen anytime soon, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to at least have a slightly less egregious time with them, or shall we say less troublesome. Troublesome is the word I'm looking for there. Anyway, yeah, I'm just going to go to these villages right here, just going to pick up some random troops. I'm not really looking for anything too specific. And there we have it. And now I just need to move over there to that village, hopefully get a bunch more noble troops, and then we'll be able to head back to Akalat. As you can see, there is actually a person attempting to besiege that. I'm not a big fan of that at all, thank you very much, so it would be wonderful if I could return there relatively quickly. Let's just do this, let's do that, there we are. And yeah, so Akalat is under siege. They have 175 defenders, but only militia. I'm not sure why they only have militia. I thought I put some people in the garrison there, but apparently I didn't. Yeah, probably because I couldn't spare any, to be honest. And here he is. Okay, so he actually only has 427. So if I break in to help the defenders here, I mean, I would very easily be able to, well, I could do an auto-resolve defense, which would be extremely simple for us. As we know, it is extremely favored in the defenders' case. Break in to help the defenders, and yeah, we're going to go ahead with losing 28. That's absolutely fine. And technically, we could just go and we could just help them. We could just help them right now. So we can help them. We can either attack or we can send troops. So obviously, if we send troops right here, horse archers gain a major bonus while defending. That's quite funny. And cavalry suffer a medium penalty while defending. Oh, that's interesting. Right. Okay. So what do these people actually have here? They have nomads mostly, nomads and footmen, which is actually quite funny. All right, let's do it. Okay, because obviously I don't really want to use the same strategies over and over again if I can help it. You know, especially in a siege defense. Siege defenses are some of the most fun activities that you can do in the game, in my opinion. And if we can actually sustain ourselves relatively nicely here, then I'll be quite pleased with it. Anyway, let's see what we've got going on here. I obviously don't have any ability to use ranged attacks, but my forces do, of course. I have a bunch of archers, or should we say, I hope we have a bunch of archers in here. I'm actually not entirely sure whether we do. But apart from that, yeah, we do have some archers, and we also have, of course, a couple of catapults as well. It would be wonderful if I could actually use a catapult, but I'm so incredibly terrible with it. I am not really wanting to waste it, to be honest. That's the main concern here. Because obviously, if I go on this thing, I mean, you can see here that this fellow is going to do an amazing job. I'm 100% certain he's going to kill multiple troops. What do you bet? Is he? Is he though? Nope, he didn't kill anything, as far as I'm aware. Well, that's a little bit sad, isn't it? Well, this is where the majority of enemies are going to come to use their ladders. And I guess I'm just going to be ready for them. Well, as you can see, they're attempting to batter down the gates, and I'm actually ready here. I've got my stone in my hands, and I'm very much ready to just plonk it on someone's head, and I'm sure they're going to be very pleased with that action, so let's have a look. Alright, well, that's not that many people. Alright, let me just do this. There we go. There it goes. Boom. There we go. Nice. Alright, that's what I like to see. Can we get a little bit more of that, please? Yeah, there we go. There's another little bit there. Oh, that actually just... Are you serious that hit the ledge? Yeah, it's such a classic me maneuver, isn't it? So incredibly annoying. Oh, well, never mind. Anyway, we're having fun. That is all that matters, though. That is all that matters. Okay, come on now. Boom. Yes. That is what we like to see. I'm actually not entirely sure. Does this increase your throwing weapon skill, or what does this actually increase? As far as I'm aware, I think it increases your throwing weapon skill, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, it seems like we've stemmed the tide here relatively easily for some reason. And what's actually going on here? Ah, okay, so we have a bit of an issue with the siege tower. I'm not sure what I can actually do here with my stone. Can you imagine? Literally, just, you know, watching this, just in a realistic situation, watching some guy run around with a stone in his hands, being like, oh, where do I go with this? Where do I go with this? Yeah. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting right now, which is kind of hilarious. Okay, wait a minute. Is there anyone down here? No, no one else is down there. That's actually really, really sad. What's actually going on up here? Why are people having so many issues? Oh, well, I'm just going to place the stone down here. Doesn't seem to be any point. Oh, hello. Oh, why do I have my fists? Okay, that's not really going to be that useful. We are not any kind of martial artist. Thank you very much. It seems like the enemy has no idea what's even going on, because they are dwindling like no one's business. I mean, you can take a look at their their current forces here. It's absolutely hilarious. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, look at that. 136 on the battlefield right now, and we are just continuing to push our advantage, which is pretty staggering. And let me see here. Ah, yes, this is perfect. Look at this. I can literally hit their heads as soon as they appear up on the ladder. And that is going to get me huge amounts of one-handed skill and a lot of athletic skill too. So I'm very, very pleased with my positioning here right now. Maybe I'm going to be able to make good use of it, or maybe not, because maybe the enemy is actually going to start pushing me back right now, which would be rather disappointing. But it seems like we're in a decent position. If I can just stay here and eliminate this highly armored unit, I should have a pretty decent time. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Yes, yes, this is what we like to see. Thank you. This is absolutely perfect. And the enemies are actually fleeing already. Wow, I'm super surprised. Okay, I thought they would throw many, many more troops at us in this, but apparently not. But that just means that, you know what that means, right? That just means that we're going to have to take them down on the fields of battle. That seems to be the thing that we'll be doing now. Anyway, let me just speed things up real fast, and then we'll just go for a nice little confirmation of our victory there. 42 renown, not that much, but oh, what? Really? Okay, what? I didn't think that we actually had the opportunity to take them prisoner this early, but okay. There we go. Just going to take them all prisoner, and we'll take all of the other prisoners as well, because we are right in the town. And then we are going to have a great time. We do actually have a bunch of people in the dungeon already, by the way. We have some regular troops in the dungeon already, so, you know, there's also that. And there is a person that we could potentially get and recruit. I'm not sure whether he's any good. Let me just take a quick look at him in a second. There he is. Okay, yeah, so he's just a standard combat companion. It's not really going to be anything that I'm interested in right now. And as you can see, we got a bunch of these troops here. Yeah, we got a load of troops. We got massive amounts of vassals, of course, but we also have a massive amount of these fellows. So I'm very much hoping that maybe they'll get converted in due time, and hopefully that's going to make a small difference, at least. Just a small difference. Okay, so is there anything else that I can actually do here that is going to help them? Well, food, obviously, but we've just been besieged. Prosperity change. I need to get a governor super badly, actually. We should also get a siege workshop. That's going to take me 9 days. That's actually not bad at all. My loyalty is insane here. What? Okay. That's really nice. I had no idea that my loyalty was so incredibly high here, but alright, that's great. And this guy has an army, so we're just going to be eliminating him very quickly. Let's just go in for that nice little auto-resolve. Take him prisoner as well. Super nice and simple, at least. And we got a lot of level ups. A lot of level ups. There we go. That is wonderful. I love that. Okay, so now we can go back in here, put this guy in the dungeon as well. And then we can just sell the rest. We're gaining some pretty decent roguery skill now as well, which is quite funny, considering I was saying how slow it was the entire time. Anyway, let's go to Utonguard, shall we? Let's go to Utonguard. I really do not have a lot of troops, however, which is very, very sad, as you can see. Okay, you know what that means. Gonna call for an army. Let's call for this fellow. The others cannot actually join me for some reason, so we're just gonna get the army together, and then we're gonna try and take this. 354. Okay. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. But we can actually auto-resolve against these guys and actually just take them prisoner really, really quickly. I'm not going to be taking these guys prisoner because if we actually succeed in the upcoming siege, there's going to be more than enough prisoners for me to take there. And, well, we don't really need any extras to slow us down if we potentially need to run away or something like that. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and take this. There's 8 days worth of food, unfortunately, available in the town. So it is going to take me quite some time. Or I could literally just charge in straight away because one of their walls is already down, which might actually make more sense. But we do want to try and wait for the garrison to become weakened, in my opinion. Ah, look at that. Zemina has actually taken someone prisoner. That's wonderful. And as you can see, the walls have already been destroyed. Now all we need to do is just wait for a little bit of time. My vassals are unfortunately getting themselves taken prisoner, which is very unfortunate and super, super bad for us, actually. As you can see, there we go. He's been taken prisoner again. This guy literally got himself taken prisoner about a day ago. And now I'm going to assume that he was released somehow, and now he has been taken prisoner yet again. I have no idea what's actually going on with the fellow, but we can only hope that maybe they don't launch any sieges or something like that against us while we have very few vassals available. Anyway, the garrison should be dying sometime soon. I'm very much hoping, because it's been a few days. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Sometimes the starvation mechanic actually doesn't work, you know, that that well. I'm not entirely sure why, but sometimes it just doesn't. So, for example, as you can see right here...
I think your luck has
hello there. Yes, I thought you might be coming to see me sometime soon. Yes, there we go. Alright, so let's have a look-see here. Okay, yeah, we're probably going to go for... Walk It Off. Walk It Off is usually really, really good for me, but I was kind of tempted by the weighting increase. I was kind of thinking, yeah, you know what, that might actually make more sense. Anyway, we'll go for Arrow Catcher, even though I do not have a shield. But maybe we'll get one in the future, who knows. Anyway, here we go, let's do this. This is going to be a bit of a tough one because we have a very significant, shall we say, cavalry force in my own army, but the allied army that is with me right now, he probably doesn't. He probably doesn't have a huge amount. So, actually, we've got 158. Maybe it's gonna... I don't know, maybe it's gonna work. Alright, well, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a little bit of something here. So basically, what I want to do is... Wow, that's a lot of cavalry on the enemy's side as well. Okay. We're just going to engage them. We're going to engage them with the with our allied cavalry. That guy, he had no idea what was happening right there. That was hilarious. Okay, so hopefully what we can do... yeah, this is going to be a problem, isn't it? I have to just let them do it, don't I? I'm just going to charge. I'm just going to charge. That is what we're going to do right here. Because there is a lot of reasons why I cannot allow my cavalry to just go in there by themselves. And we're just going to hopefully be able to swamp them super hard, really fast here. And that's going to hopefully prevent them from being able to deal any significant damage. But obviously, if the worst happens, you know what we're going to do? We're literally just going to get out of here, move back, consolidate our forces, and then recharge back in. Obviously, I'm not talking about retreating, I'm just talking about repositioning inside the battle itself. Hopefully I won't die either, even though I've just mentioned that. And you know how it is. Whenever I mention that, I die, so I should probably not say anything about survival or health or, you know, getting eliminated or any of those wonderful jinx phrases that I tend to have. Not sure what happens with that, but there you go. Anyway, how many have we lost so far? Actually, very few in comparison to the enemy, but they outnumber us dramatically. You've got to remember that they outnumber us a great deal. So if they're able to sustain their own cavalry forces before we are able to eliminate most of them, then we're going to be in trouble. And that's, again, one of the biggest problems that we're going to have. It's actually quite funny how we're consistently at war with the Khuzait here and consistently in battles with them. Because it's literally just cavalry versus cavalry most of the time, which is very amusing. Because you'd think, oh yes, we're going to be fighting against some infantry, or some archers. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they do have quite a few infantry, of course, but, you know, for the most part, they're going to be using cavalry, and that's going to be where their most powerful troops are. Well, that actually seems to be it, I think. Even though the enemy still has a rather significant amount of troops to throw at us, I actually don't believe they're going to be going for anything more than this. Because it just doesn't make any sense, to be honest. Because as you can see, it's just been a complete bloodbath for them. And there goes the enemy leader, the enemy army leader, that is. She was obviously mistaken in thinking that she could take us down, but then again, most of them have actually been pretty likely to kill us. So, you know, it's one of those times where it's literally a case of, are they going to be aggressive? Are they going to fight together? Do they have enough high-tier troops? And the answer to most of those things is, well, no. They actually do not have a huge amount of high-tier troops, which is obviously the main reason why they're actually losing this. But we are ending up losing quite a few troops ourselves. As you can see, we actually lost 18 of our own, and that is a significant hit. Same thing with Hasid as well. I don't know whether you've noticed, but as you can see, he's lost 52, which is very bad. because he's literally providing a significant amount of numbers for my own party here, or for my own army, should we say. And losing that bulk of units, it's going to make a massive difference. However, let's take a look. We got 77 renown. I don't know. I mean, how many how many vassals do they actually have available? There we go. I actually released a bunch of people there. Apparently these fellows wanted to... Ooh, never mind. We're absolutely fine now. Haha. I had no idea that they had a bunch of rescue troops. But this is really going to make all the difference in the world to our success right here. Basically, any single time you can gain a lot of prisoners, and I'm talking about rescued prisoners here, is a good day, as long as you have the space for them, of course. So yeah, anyway, we're just gonna sort by tier real fast, just gonna get all of those, thank you very much. Massive amounts of horses being used for upgrades as well. Wow, that's a really nice helmet too. And I kind of, you know what, I kind of wanna take all of this stuff, but I can't. I don't have enough space, which is really, really sad, actually. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, we're just going to let our forces equip themselves however they want to, and we're just going to move on. I'm just going to have to leave some of the loot behind, which is very sad. But, you know, if you don't have enough space, you don't have enough space. Okay, so we're going to continue the siege. This is going to be a bit of a risky maneuver, and definitely something that I wouldn't recommend normally. But they've run out of food. Their starvation mechanic should technically be kicking in anytime soon, but this is the thing that sometimes happens with Bannerlord. It doesn't actually work sometimes, the actual starvation mechanic. I mean, you can take a look here. Yeah, there we go. The starvation mechanics now started to kick in. Not sure why. They've been without food for a very long period of time, so I don't understand why it would make any difference at all. Yeah, it seems like they've actually... Oh, well, you know what? I guess I'm just gonna go in. I'm just gonna go in right now because we've got a pretty decent amount of troops. I have taken down the walls. The enemy has one catapult, so I should probably destroy that first. There we go. And now we can make our way in. And I'm not going to make the same mistake that I did last time. I thought to myself, I have so many people in my prisons. There's no way that any of the enemy vassals are going to be able to retake Utonguard that easily. But no, they obviously proved me wrong. Very, very easily, in fact. So, just goes to show, you can never really be truly convinced of an enemy being down and out, pretty much. So, that's the thing. Anyway, as you can see, the enemy is, of course, going to be blocking me a pretty significant amount, but that's the new AI for you. That is indeed the new AI. They're just going to be holding their block button over and over until you destroy their shield. And that's all great. That's all wonderful. I love that. I love the fact that they just hold their block button now. It's very immersive, you know. Absolutely wonderful. Anyway. Yes, anyway, we are now behind enemy lines. Apparently much easier than anticipated. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get a couple more kills with my one-handed here. I wouldn't mind that. That fellow has already taken some damage. Oh, it looks like I may even have enough athletics to be able to catch up to lightly armored units as well, which I'm actually really surprised about. Usually, I'm not able to do this kind of thing when I'm in heavy armor, unless you have a decent amount of athletic skill. I seem to recall that we only had about 100 athletic skill, 125 or something like that, not so long ago, and now we have 175. So, I'm extremely pleased with that progression, really am. And maybe, no, I think we're done here. No, I think we're done here. Obviously, most of the enemy were eliminated due to the starvation mechanic, but as I've said, it takes a long time, and sometimes it doesn't even work. So, That's the thing. Because it takes so long, that's the reason why we have to be a lot more careful with what we do with our fiefs. So that's the reason why I'm going to be super cagey about that kind of thing now. And hopefully my forces will be able to eliminate the enemy. There we go. Not like last time where they just stood there doing nothing, but there you go. I actually did manage to survive this time as well, which is actually very nice, because usually I die in these kinds of things, but there you go. Alright, so I will be able to take these prisoner. There we go. And then we can actually... Well, I'm actually not entirely sure what we can do. Do I have anyone actually with me right now? Yes, I do. I have a bunch of them. Okay. Well, we're just going to be placing a bunch of these guys in there. They actually have some camel archers as well. I wouldn't mind getting those. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep that with us and maybe keep these. Just going to keep some of the cavalry. Just in case. You never know. You never know. Maybe they're actually going to get converted and maybe they'll join me at some point in the future. Alright, so we've done that. Hasid is obviously here. He is very pleased to, you know, be alive still. And I'm just going to disband him from our army here. And then we're going to... Oh! Akalat was taken? Oh, well that makes sense now. Yes. That makes all the sense in the world now, because I thought to myself, wait a minute, where are all these vassals coming from? And that's the reason. They came in from Akalat, because of course... Are you serious right now? The Southern Empire is actually going to be taking this. No! That is terrible. That is so bad. Okay, well... I can't do much about that, unfortunately. No, I cannot. Oh, that is awful. I've been trying so hard to, you know, just basically eliminate as many of the Khuzait vassals as we can get our hands on. Just eliminating them. You know, just eliminating them. That's it. That's all I want to do. Just eliminate them, take them prisoner, and then just keep them all cozied up in some prison somewhere. And that's it. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to do anything too dramatic, but unfortunately... It's not working out too well, is it? No. Well. Does this guy actually have anything right now? No, he doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to be giving him the ownership of Utonguard. I'm actually wondering where he is. Is he actually alive? Is he actually able to look after it, or is he not? Because that's the question now. I don't actually know whether he is. Okay, well, I put all of my prisoners in Akalat, so that's the reason why things have now gone extremely badly. We have an Aserai culture companion here, which might actually be somewhat useful. Just going to let all of the lords go at this point. I think I'm probably going to consolidate and maybe even make peace at some point in the near future here, because I'm not sure if I see a way around this right now, because as you can see, Akalat has been taken by the Southern Empire. I was kind of hoping that maybe what they'd do is launch an attack against Akalat once again. The Khuzait might be able to take it back. The Southern Empire seems to be very opportunistic at this point. Look at them. They're actually attempting to take a whole bunch of fiefs in this area. Look at that. They've taken Epinosa Castle and Siratos Castle and all that wonderful stuff. And even the Sturgians are coming in at the top here and attempting to dismantle the Khuzait. They really have just jumped on the bandwagon here, haven't they? This is very bad for me. Alright, well, what can I do except just take an additional point in endurance? There we go. Yes, that's absolutely wonderful. I love that. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.